200.
200
CMA requests from those ads that you put together.
So is it just one ad right now, or is it?
Yeah, when I got back from vacation and then I signed up last week, now I have just one running.
It comes fast, eh?
Yeah, real fast. That's why I only have one running right now, because I'm putting all my stuff in place. I should have been doing that first, but that's okay. I've got another person to send to you too.
Well, thank you. And give them your affiliate link, by the way.
Where are you?
San Luis Obispo.
Sorry?
Central Coast of California.
Okay.
My alma mater, where I went to school, Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. That's in this, if you're familiar with the area, that's just north of Santa Barbara. Great school, great place. Best fried tip sandwich you'll ever eat. But I might be biased.
Me too.
Okay, let me get this. Let's make sure this in the group. Press record, announcements. And then we'll rock and roll. Okay, lots to discuss. So, in the top. Okay. Here we go. Facebook lead conversion. Really, hey, Wendy. Seeing you to the side. So here's the thing. And Kim, feel free to share your experience so far with all 200 of these leads. And, you know, Wendy, we got a very experienced agent in here who's been with us. She's in her car, so she may be able to hear us or not hear us. Can you hear us, Wendy? Yeah. I can't hear you yet. You have to unmute yourself. So the thing is, you're not converting leads, you are creating conversations with leads. And a part of that is learning what to say and how to say it in a way that is genuine and authentic and not salesy, right? Get to feel that, get to understand that this top of funnel is not about you getting this appointment. And if you make that about you getting this appointment, can everybody hear me, by the way? Yeah, okay. Or I'm just talking to myself. If you make it about them, you're going to get the conversation. If you make it about you, you're not. So make it all about them, learn about their goals, what they love most about their home. If there was one thing they were to change, what would it be? Like, learn to speak the language of the homeowner so that they get to feel that you're authentically looking to serve them and not sell them, right? And develop automations that do that too. Wendy.
Hey.
Hey, so Wendy's probably the longest veteran on here, followed by Jeff. So Jeff and Wendy will be able to kind of help you guys a lot, I'm sure, based on what they've picked up along the way. I see both of them all the time on our masterminds on Wednesdays. And you know, feel free, like I'll let you guys take the floor for a second. Jeff, even based on what you've learned so far, you know, what did you, Jeff is in a very, very hard market, by the way, in Southern California, Orange County. So if Jeff can make it work, then you can make it work. Right?
Very true.
So just saying. And so is Wendy. Wendy's in Las Vegas. So I don't care if you guys are not competing in those markets, then no excuse from you. Okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, almost 20,000 agents here now.
Wow.
Yeah.
But only one Wendy.
That's true. Awesome. Sorry, you guys get to have lunch with me because I'm starving.
Well, see, that's what makes you though, because I want to have lunch with you. If I'm a lead, I want you to send me a bomb mom video while you're eating lunch, because that's more genuine than some sort of fabricated home value, right? Anyways, we'll talk more about that, because the key is really it's about winning friends and influencing people. It's about building rapport. It's about finding something that you have in common. It's really about basic conversational skills. Would you agree?
Yes. And Jeff, do you call your leads?
I do call them one time to try and develop some rapport and some relationship, but I will not bug them. I won't text them. I won't use their phone number after that first call. And it's really just, first call is just meant to feel out exactly where they're at. Typically, most of them indicate just curious. That could mean anything. And I try to drill down a little bit to find out exactly what their interest level is. And that dictates to me what drip system I'm putting them on in my CRM.
Awesome. Yeah, I really need to work on that more because I think that my conversion would be way better if I called people.
I've heard some great feedback. I mean, listen, we should role play it a little bit because, be honest, I mean, you're going to have a million different answers when you pick up the phone or someone picks up the phone. But I think the key is you come in there with this mentality of, you know, hey, it's Markus from Remax Kelowna. I just want to say thank you so much for clicking on my Facebook ad to get a home value. I just want to let you know this is complimentary, free, no obligation. And I'm sure you thought it was an instant market value, right? And then people are like, yeah, we were just curious. Hey, most people are. I totally understand. I mean, here's the reason why I'm not giving you the instant market value, because you could do that yourself by Googling it. Right? I think you got to get ready. You got to get ready that they're going to have that objection.
Yeah. I was thinking of, the thing is I always want to, you know, but I'm so freaking busy. Like I do my videos starting at 3 a.m., you know, and starts, you know, making sure I get those out because my day starts and it's just, you know, super busy. So calling people at 3 a.m. probably isn't the best option. I gotta figure out some time slots. But when I do call StreetText leads, I'll put it right in my calendar. But then everything else blows up and it doesn't get done. So, and I know it's just excuses. I get it. But I have some good ones.
Wendy, do you wait till the end of each day and allow your leads to accumulate and then shoot your videos at some point once the end of the day comes?
Yeah, so what happens is I do have a CMA helper, and she processes them in the morning and in the afternoon, and then the next day I go in and do my videos and I send them out, you know, in my emails. So, you know, I would love to be able to follow up with people that early because that's when I have time. I don't have time during normal business hours. So I just got to make time. I know I have a lot of, you know, a lot of things to do, including I got my motorcycle license. So now I'm learning how to ride a motorcycle. So fun stuff. Priorities though, I need to call the leads.
Priorities too is, I think you need to make sure every single lead gets to know you and meet you. And I think ultimately where I find people miss out is that they think the ticket is having automations, and they're like, oh, you know, I'm going to put in a video in my email and I've done my job. And, you know, even if you put a video in your email on day 1 and you made one for 3 and 4, and then you added an additional one for day 5 and 10, all these great video emails, those things are going to dwindle. Your percentages are going to drop. You're going to go from 50% to 40% to 30% to 20, and then, you know, maybe it goes up a little bit. Who cares? At the end of the day, you need to learn how to actually be proficient in sending personal email. And it could be the same exact email that you have in your automations, but now you're going for the personal touch. And the personal touch is you need to make sure that every single one of those emails ideally gets opened and watched. And so I find, like, okay, you have this great intro video, but how many people are actually opening it and watching it? And if you can make that number, like, especially your first introduction, if you can make that number high, naturally things are going to kind of start working in your favor, especially if it genuinely connects with them.
Yeah, Markus, obviously if they don't open the first one, they're not going to open any subsequent ones.
Yeah.
That's not really true. I see a lot of people that don't open the first one, don't open my video CMA, don't open my HomeBot how-to video. Don't open the Are We Facebook Friends yet, but they'll open HomeBot and they'll open the 6-month one that just has text in it. And then they say, yeah, I would like to know my updated home value. So, I mean, I just think we have it built up to where if they don't get one, maybe they'll get another, so.
And Wendy, you're absolutely right. But what's happening there is probably falling in filters. Whereas the one that they're opening is not, because it doesn't have any video in it or any sort of custom. So
Right.
the trick is, that's why with these emails, what you need to do is like, I'll show you exactly. I've been sharing people with this. So let's take your email, for example. I'm
Okay.
gonna make the screen bigger. So, someone goes back to their inbox and let's say they get this type of email from you. The one that looks like this, where it has, meet me on Facebook, right? I know you got a new one, but this type of email. So what happens is a lot of people think that, okay, I put my auto email like this in sort of the automations, and I'm making sure that's getting, that's in there. And then we know if you go to your email records, half of those, maybe less, actually get opened. And then how do we know if they're watching it, let alone clicking on it? Because it doesn't tell you much in the StreetText part of this. But what I would tell you is that if you had something like this set up, I use obviously Gmail, and you can do it other ways, but if you had that same email as a snippet, so basically I did yours here, like Facebook Home Value Wendy. And now I just set this up to where I would change up the subject line ever so slightly and ask for their feedback, or get something like a yes or no. Hey, were you able to watch this? I put in their name, put in their address, that type of thing. It's the same email. It's the same exact email. Everything's the same, but now I'm personally sending it to that person because I need to actually have the tracking mechanism installed with it. That this tracking mechanism is everything, because I can go search by that person's email to find out if they're getting it, if they're watching it, if they're responding to it, and so forth. So a lot of that is just a simple working smarter, not harder process, that if you learn to do that with all your emails, you're going to start getting more touches.
So go through everybody that you already sent to and then resend it again through Gmail. Because I mean, I do send it through my follow-up boss and my BombBomb, the video CMA, because sometimes they'll open BombBomb, but they won't open my, follow-up boss, and vice versa. So I send them both out immediately, and I don't care if they said, oh my God, you sent me 2 at the same time. They've never said that, because they usually only see one or the other. So you're saying like on the next day?
I do the same thing, Wendy. I do the same thing with my trials. I actually have the same email send out immediately when the trial starts, and another same one an hour later in case they didn't get it. Because I want to make sure it gets received and watched. And I, maybe in the subject line on the second one, I'll say, did you get it? Right? Because that's what all we're trying to do is get some feedback.
Right.
And right, obviously the main priority is going to be the actual home value that you send them, and getting that open and watched and discussed, because that's what they asked for. But you still very much want them to acknowledge that this is a real person connecting with them. And if you can help them identify why they're not getting that instant market value the moment they click on that particular ad, now it makes more sense. If they go back to their email and they think, oh man, I thought this was an instant market value, and they're like, forget about it. Well, that person in that moment thought that on the other side of that click, it was going to say your home's worth blank. So you have to help them understand why they're not getting in. Actually, they're going to get something that's way more better, like tuned in, true to the market right now, considers everything that they've done personally to the home, something they wouldn't be able to see, based on just, you could even say, hey, go ahead and Google your home if you like, right? If you're looking for the internet best guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Better. Yeah, you like my grammar there? Way more better.
Way more better. That's funny. We've been using it for reverse prospecting a lot, because we have buyers looking for homes and we can't find them anything because there's nothing on the market, or everything's gone in 5 minutes. So my agents are letting me know, what their buyers are looking for. I know what my buyers are looking for. And we go into follow-up boss. I can search all my StreetText leads, and then I search the zip code, or, Henderson or whatever. And then I kind of look at the price points of what I sent them, and and then give them a call and say, hey, I have a buyer. If you're still interested in selling, you can save $5,000 by just, selling to my buyer. And it works. So I do make some calls, but not as many as I should.
Well, I mean, you have so much time in the day. So I think the key is you're always for yourself looking for smarter processes that makes that person feel like they're being connected to you authentically, like personally. It's going to be a healthy balance. Like some people have more time to spend on it, so they'll go into this way of, okay, I'm going to Facebook them, I'm going to connect with them on Facebook, I'm going to drop them a friend request, I'm going to send them a text message, I'm going to send them a text video, I'm going to email them that video, I'm going to do everything I possibly can to connect in that time block. So I think, and oftentimes too, people get too overwhelmed, they get too many leads, and then they don't know where to even start. So I always say, like, adjust your ad budget to where you feel like you can give one heck of a quality follow-up, and that follow-up for you personally is going to be doing everything that you would say, I've done it all. I've literally done it all. I've tried it all. I've Facebooked them. I've texted them. I've left a voicemail. I have it all. So you got to kind of figure out what you're willing to do. HomeBot, yeah, it's not Jenifer's thing. And some people it is. I think it can only be your thing if you help them understand how to use it. Like HomeBot's just like any other internet's best guess. But if you show them how to use HomeBot through something like a BombBomb screen recording integration, now you can say, hey, this HomeBot is no different than what you would Google, but there's some cool features about it. And the features are really about showing them how to tune their market value, how to update their equity and mortgage information, these, cool Airbnb and investment scenarios, and it's just something that you can change and update as often as you'd like to be. It's your own personalized custom, but it's only custom until you make it custom.
Jeff sent me, he sent me the whole HomeBot thing, and it's not that the information's not good. I think I'm too ADD. So I think, like, if I'm thinking about from a buyer's perspective, it's a lot of information, really cool information, but then I feel like I'm off track. And I think that it'll distract someone from getting back in touch with me. But there is one feature I like, and you can ask a question directly. So I think that's cool, but a lot of it kind of takes you off into different scenarios. And yeah, that's the only reason I don't like it. It's just too much information for me.
Yeah, see, and I see it as an additional value proposition that I have to offer. And consumers enjoy the fact that they can get value for nothing, and they're going to remember the source of that value. So it's one more touch on a monthly basis that goes appreciated and used. I mean, you've seen the open rates that you get, I'm sure, just from starting out. I mean, the open rates are unbelievable. So clearly people are using it and enjoying it, and long term it ends up paying off.
It's true, Jeff. I mean, when you get the open and when you get a report saying who's opened it and who's interacted with it, that's your cue to go back and create a personal touch. Go bust out your BombBomb, email or from your phone, get your little that little app, make it big, write their name on it and say, hey, da da da, and check in with a little personal touch and let them know a cool feature that they can do within that HomeBot report that they interacted with. That'd be the time.
I'm just waiting for StreetText to tie into HomeBot to make it even easier.
They're working on it. I know that's one of Steve's main priorities right now. So we're trying to make Zapier come in the forefront for you guys. And KV Core, Jenifer, I think you should know, like, EXP, by the way, we're talking some of the main top peeps out there. So,
well, not really, because you haven't talked to me yet, and
so you know what I mean. What's your recruiting line like? Just joking. How many agents
per
year? That's great. I like to have fun. Any other questions though, like on that? Because your AI, your email drip numbers. And I don't even like Julie as an AI in terms of what she does until you actually make it your own. It's in my mind, it's a little bit artificial intelligence-y, right? It just feels like that until you go in there and kind of make it more yours. And Jenifer does that, and so does Wendy. They put their little home emojis in and a little personality in it. You know, if you were in Texas, maybe you'd say y'all. You know, Wendy used the words awesome, right? You just gotta go in there, and so there's no way that person who's receiving it would say, you know, generic. Questions on that? Okay, Jenifer, I'm gonna put you on the spot, like I always do. How's this going for you?
Not private, but it's
You gotta unmute yourself whenever you get a chance. I think you tried and then you didn't.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm saying I'm focusing on this because I want to know how's this going for you. What's this whole idea with your home was last sold for? So walk me through how long this takes you, because and how hard is it to build a template like this for people to use?
So the template's actually really easy. Someone was just asking me, it's available in my course, but it's also, I think, on my YouTube. You can look at it. This takes me about 3 or 4 minutes per new lead because I already have the template set up. So literally the only thing I'm doing is changing out the photo, and I can find the sold prices now. You can't 100% of times, but most of the time I can in old MLS records. I just look at the listing prior, and then underneath it tells you not only the sold price, but it tells you what type of loan they got, and it tells you any concessions or buyer warranty that they got. So I add that all in there. That takes me a few minutes, and then I run the comps real quickly, and I put it on the line below. This change, and actually I've changed the video since then. I don't know if you could find a more recent video, but the new video with my dog in it and the combination of changing my template has caused a lot of people to respond. So I think it's working even better than before.
I love it. So you got this video. We'll play it in a second here in this template. You should update it so that people can see it like that. But this would be the smarter way to go, right? The smarter, not harder way to go. Because if all you had to do is put in a photo, what their last home was sold for, what you think their home could be positioned for in the market today, and you could work on this stuff. Like that's all day. This is your own personality and what you'd want to say. Jenifer, what I would say is when I click on this, it's saying the Calendly URL is not valid. So make sure that.
I think I've updated that because someone else told me that, and I think I updated. I think you guys have just the old video that I
see the old one, just so you know, just make sure, because I think there was something, so I just want to make sure you had that, you knew that. But let's assume, so, and all you would do is basically go to the Google and type in 133 Glen Ridge or something. You would see that home's image by going into the satellite, and then you do, Command Shift for screenshot.
That's right.
And then,
sorry. I just wanted to say that the reason that I changed that with what they purchased it last time is, I'm sorry, but sometimes I find that the online guess is either number one, too high, okay, more high than I think it should be, or I find that what I am wanting to, I guess, position it on the market for, it's very unimpressive. It's a few thousand different. And so to me, I think it's more eye-catching for them to see, wow, we bought this house for 130 and we could position it on the market for 270. And to me, that's a bigger jump. And so just from a psychology standpoint, I think that that's why I'm getting more responses. They see the difference.
I love that. So let's watch this video, and then let's get it clear on, where people can find out how to build that. Because I think that's massive for me. I would make that a priority. Like obviously all the other great emails that you have as well in there, I'm sure you're doing your part on getting those open and watched, but that's the main one. That's what they asked for. So that's going to be the big one. So let me show you what she has in there now in that type of template. All right. I love the dog in the background.
Hi, Jenifer with eXp Realty, and of course my cute dog Roscoe. But your home report is ready. I worked on it. It wasn't automated. So based on the information that I have and that you gave me and Public Records has, I pulled the old MLS for your home. I pulled historical photos. I pulled all of the recent comps in your area, and I was able to develop a range for your CMA report, which is also known as a comparative market analysis report. Now, this is just a range, and until you and I can meet and either do a virtual video walkthrough where all we need to do is meet on Zoom, or an in-person 10 to 15 minute walkthrough of your home, again, free, no obligation, then I can confirm the value report that I'm giving below. Now, based on the information that I have and the information you gave me, these are my findings of where I believe we should position your home on the market. If you're just curious, wonderful. If you are thinking about selling, we need to chat. So reach out to me by email, phone, or use the Calendly link below and set a time to chat with me. That way we can kind of discuss next steps. Also, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are about the report, and I would like to just generally get a chance to know you. In fact, if you see a message in your Facebook message request folder, that was me just trying to get an opportunity to get to know you better and allow you to see my business and see my client reviews. So keep connected and let's stay in touch. Have a wonderful day. Jenifer Salter with eXp Realty.
Right? And cool thing is, Jenifer, good job. The cool thing is you don't have to actually, once you get a video like that, it's evergreen. It allow you to send the same thing. You don't have to personalize it for every single person. All you're doing is changing out the image of that home. All you're doing is changing out the price. Everything else becomes that just now trying to get them to make sure you've opened it and watched it. And so it makes your job a lot easier because you're only spending that 3 or 4 minutes for each lead that way.
Yeah, you know what I love about this, and I'm gonna start to change this up because we're talking about sending our video out twice in the scope of 24 hours. And Jenifer, I'm assuming that video is sent out directly from BombBomb. I embed my videos in my follow-up boss emails that get sent out, but by doing what Jenifer's doing, I can send the video out directly from BombBomb, as well as embedding it in my follow-up boss email that gets sent out that has a little bit more of an explanation, but there's certainly enough of an explanation in Jen's video where it renders itself kind of useless to incorporate it in an email when the video does all the talking for you.
Yeah. Any questions for Jenifer on that one? You guys all gonna do it? Yes. The key is like learn and implement so that we can come back on the mastermind and talk about results.
It would be wonderful if there was a step-by-step instruction, Jenifer, on how to create that template in BombBomb, because I know it's not easy.
Yeah, there is. It's on my YouTube. It's on my YouTube. If you just Google me and look for my YouTube videos, it shows you how to make that template. It's really,
Awesome.
really easy.
Awesome. Yeah. And you can make all the colors to your brand, right? Like, I really, really like the colors that like Wendy uses with her light teal green, and it's, you can change it out depending on what your colors are, because you're obviously matching the EXP colors.
I have a question for Jenifer.
Yeah.
Jenifer, I love that video, by the way, and how you incorporated your dog. I'm trying to figure out how to get my dog either in the chair with me or somewhere.
Yeah.
But do you utilize the 10 videos through EXP, or do you have a full BombBomb account?
I don't use any of the scripted videos through BombBomb. I think I know what you're saying. They have like these weird templates. I don't even know what that is.
No, that's with EXP, and you're allowed a certain number of BombBomb videos that you personalize. Do you do that, or do you sign up for BombBomb separate from EXP? Because I'm EXP also, and I know they gift you or whatever so much. I haven't dug into that yet, but where you can, customize your videos just like what you did. Do you do that, or do you just sign up for the full BombBomb account?
That's a good question. So KV Core was allowing us to insert those videos through BombBomb. And when I have a premium account with BombBomb, they aren't letting me coordinate it together. So from what I've heard from other people is their BombBomb service is really the limited BombBomb. It doesn't allow you tracking. It doesn't allow you what I have with premium. So I don't mess with it because I think the capabilities are limited.
Okay, excellent. And that's exactly where I'm at, because I've watched your previous video, not the one with the dog, and I've got everything loaded into my BigVoo to record that script. And now I'm to the next spot where I'm like, okay, BombBomb or EXP BombBomb. So thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
BombBomb Plus is the middle one. I think it's $50 a month, and that's the one that suffices for everything you need to do and accomplish. I personally use Gmail. That's the way I use it. So I obviously use the Chrome extension, and it works really well for me. So, but if you're using BombBomb and you're using templates, you have to send it from that way. I don't think you can build it from the Chrome extension that way. Maybe you could, I just don't know yet. But yeah, and then you're gonna use your phone every once in a while too. Like, you should try things. Get to know all the applications of BombBomb. If you're out and about on the road, like, your automations are going, but if you just so happen to see that you got a new StreetText lead and you got a second, and you're just coming out from a showing or whatever, you're just coming out of the gym, pull out your BombBomb and just have fun, just for fun. It gets open and watched, right? I think we overthink these things. Also, test out the texting feature of it and know what you can do social. And don't forget the screen recording side of BombBomb too, and how powerful that is. So there's so many angles to go, but measure it, because it's great to use it and get to know it, but it doesn't matter unless you're getting high opens, most importantly watches, because that's the whole point of BombBomb is the video play. And then, truth be told, like, you need to get a comment, you need to get, like, you always ask a question so you can get a comment. Sometimes we need to just ask a question that gets us yes, no. And a link is great too, but is that link getting clicked on very often? If not, maybe try to use a different link that would be. I mean, I love the simplicity of Wendy's email in the beginning is just meet me on Facebook. And it's her own personal Facebook, right? Because just remember, at the end of the day, you've interrupted someone's personal Facebook newsfeed. It's a personal Facebook. You paid Facebook for that from your business page, but you're interrupting their personal Facebook. So if you could figure out why to connect personally on Facebook right off the get-go, you're gonna you are going to profile them as a realtor. You're always going to. You're going to do your searching. You're going to go LinkedIn. You're going to Google. You're going to do whatever. You can cross-reference tax records. You can do all that. You can't assume that they're not going to do the same to you if they're going to actually invite you over into their home. So let's get over all that BS and get straight to the fact that, like, you need to profile me. Like, get to know me, get to know my family, get to know my friends, get to know what I post. If you're not willing to do that, it's going to naturally be an obstacle for you. I'm sorry, because at the end of the day, they're going to decide that sooner or later anyways. So you can't, like, shelter them from your personal life. The whole point of being a realtor is being transparent. You are in a relationship focused business, and it's no different than anybody in any sales position. So just something to kind of think about. Like, I personally still believe to this day that your personal Facebook is your powerhouse. And if you start learning how to use it, something as simple as just using the birthday features every day. Like, this year, I've had fun. I go to Facebook Messenger when I see birthdays, and maybe some of you have gotten it. Maybe it's not your birthday yet, but I go to the filters, and right now there's this dog or a cat. Have you seen the Messenger filters? No? So everybody, if you have your phone, go to your Facebook Messenger app. So you got to do it on your app. And then when you go to compose, like Jenifer, if I do it to you right now, and I go to the camera, on the right-hand side of that camera where there's like a little smiley face, if you click on it, it's got all these different filters. So if I talk to you right now, you're going to get one look from a cat because I just pressed on it and I just press send. So let me know if you see that, because I just sent that to you. It's so fun and so easy to be different. So You see that? Okay. So what I've been doing on everybody's birthday, every single day, is singing them happy birthday with a cat or a dog. And everybody just laughs at the other side of it, but they're like, oh my gosh, this is hilarious. But the thing is, I do that because intentionally allows me to actually see, well, where are we at in our relationship? You know, I want to show you that I care, it's your birthday, but also it shows me, are we still in contact? Where have we lost it? Where are they at? And where can I put them back into a list that I've created with my friends list? So now I'm looking at my Facebook differently.
Do you send them fluffers because you still miss your cat?
I do, yeah. It's been a hard transition into the uncatted world. Yeah, you'll get to know my Facebook. My wife likes to take over from time to time and play with me. But that's, you know what I mean? But that's it. It's the Facebook world is meant for that. So if you can start, like, that's what Wendy does so well with the personal Facebook, as do you, Jenifer. It's a healthy balance of your professional life as well as what you do and enjoy and take pleasure in, and, you know, believe at the same time. Like, it's supposed to be where you're most transparent with who you are. So, and I think that's where your tribe is built anyway. You're looking to build a tribe. You're looking to build the repeat and referral business. And so the more transparent you can be, the more you'll be able to stay top of mind with people, and they'll think of you when they think real estate, and they'll refer you that way too. So that's why you want to try to actively pursue these relationships that way. And just so you know, like, it's just as easy if you don't like somebody to defriend them. It's just as easy to block them if they're doing anything that's crude, unfollow them. The key is, like, you control the destiny of that relationship. So you're stepping into faith by requesting them. But if they do something that's crosses that line, bam, you're gone and blocked. 2 clicks. So that's all I'm saying. Is, like, don't feel like it's like a invasion of privacy. It's you have control over that. So, and, you know, it's 6 degrees of separation these days too. Like, how do you know you don't have mutual friends, and, you know, you're part of the same clubs and groups and communities and likes and stuff? So that sometimes is your shoo-in. Oh, hey, you're friends with John. Simple. We overthink these things, but it's just a quick Facebook message with a video. Do everything with video too. Get used to it, because we're not going anywhere else with it. It's, you know, if you don't get used to even actually using your iMessage on Facebook or on texting, because the thing is, when you do something, it catches someone off guard. We're so used to getting text emails and text-based videos, or excuse me, just text. So when someone gets a video for the first time, or hasn't got one in a long time, and that's what they see, they're going to be like, it disarms them, and they go like, oh, wow, right? And they're like, and so if you have something authentic to say, it interrupts that in a healthy way for you. So if you get used to it, you know, get used to doing it from your phone. Get used to doing it from Facebook Messenger. Get used to doing it from email. Now all of a sudden you want to think twice about it. But that could be all the difference in the way you, and at least what gets you, that's the conversation started. And then you obviously, it's up to you to get that presentation.
That's another reason I think it's so important when you're doing the video to do it in different locations. Nobody wants it to be scripted, because it should be natural and feel authentic. So when you send them a video, send them in different places in your house. You know, if you're out walking, do a quick video, but that all feels more natural, like you're a real person.
True. Hey, Todd. Todd just signed up for the year, and he's just purchased your course. So he's excited.
Woohoo!
Yeah. I actually got a friend of mine from my office. She did StreetText, and she took a lot of your guys' recommendations, and she's done really well.
Who's that?
Her name is Paula Casey.
Cool.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah.
Where are you located?
I'm in Newmarket, and I pay way too much for my leads from what I'm hearing from you guys.
Well, we just got to keep our eyes on it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
What's the average price point out there?
Well, that's almost $1 million.
So it's different, right? Because Jenifer, what's the average price point in your area?
Maybe 300.
Yeah. So, you can't compare her lead flow to your lead flow. You'll pay, you can't
Okay.
it's just when when you see the stats, and the stats say the average $2 address, $6 email, $15 to $18 phone number. Well, those are stats that combine the entirety of North America.
Right.
Right. So you got to figure out what's realistic for your market. And that's why there's an ROI calculator built in. So, I mean, I'm happy, sometimes in a higher end $1 million market, I say go from like $10 ad spend to maybe 12 to 15 to see if that competes better for you.
I'm
Because
going
what
to
you're,
tell you guys a secret too, if you don't mind, Marcus. And I don't even
Yeah.
know the logistics. And thank God Logan's not here because he would know some tech reason why this exists. But let me just tell you a secret. So right now, I'm sure everyone across the board, United States and Canada, is really having issues. It's definitely it's a seller's market. It's very unfortunate for buyers. It's crazy offers. You can't even run comps. So in this market, what I have found is, you start to grovel. My lead spend was going really high too. And the average price point for an average house here is about 300. You can have more or less, whatever. But I was finding that my ad spend was creeping up to like $9, $10 a lead, which I understand big cities, it's not a big deal, but I'm used to less. Okay. So I knew there was something going on. I couldn't figure it out. And then I figured it out. I'm competing with the big dogs. I do a lot of business, but let's be real. There are agents in my area that are spending millions, like not tens of thousands, like millions every year on advertising. I'll never compete with them. So here's what you have to do. You have to realize that when the market gets tough, your biggest cities, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Raleigh, North Carolina, all of the capitals and the big cities, they're being inundated with the most aggressive of agents that have the bigger ad spend. So what I started to do, and it has worked fantastic for me, is instead of going directly to Raleigh, which is where I live, okay, I am going about 20 miles out to a more rural area. I'm doing a 15-mile radius around there. And what I'm finding is my ad spend drop back down to like $3 a lead. And I am just getting them out because you have to grovel in this market and you have to be smart. So don't compete with the big city prices. Just go move that little dot over just a little bit, do the radius around there, and you're not competing with all these big dogs spending the money in the city. That's my secret.
Well, makes sense.
so you guys get that? Move the pin drop.
Hey, Marcus, it'd be really interesting, and I know it means more work for somebody at StreetText, but to geographically break down leads, ad spends based on different geographical areas. So somebody like Todd can get a basis for whether he's way off or he's spot on for his area.
Oh, heck yeah, we're working on that. I have absolutely. And you know what else I'm pushing for is, like, every ad funnel has these natural variances inside of it that can change. Like, let's just say the What's Your Home Really Worth funnel that everybody uses, that can change by using an image, that can change by using the map. Okay, what about if someone were to buy your home, would you sell it? Emojis versus no emojis, or satellite versus map versus terrain, right? There's variables within each one of these dashboard or funnels that I'd love to actually say, okay, what's the average satellite? Because to this day, Jenifer, I still want you to try it again. I know your home image is working good. To this day, right now, what I'm seeing working the best is the satellite image in the What's Your Home Really Worth funnel. Split testing, especially when there's a contrast between the blue, like the ocean or the water. To this day, it's working the best. So Jeff, you're getting $10 to $12. Is that for address or email?
Email.
That's pretty good.
It's not bad.
Yeah, seriously, like, okay, because what's the average price point in Orange County?
900 to $1.1 million.
Yeah, so where $300,000.
Don't even talk to me about ROI. It's off the charts. So
yeah, exactly. So what's the StreetText? The StreetText cost is $2,000 for the year. The ad spend that you're spending, it just depends on how much you spend, but you kind of give that variable depending on your market, some split testing, some A/B testing. Maybe you're running some buyer ads, some listing ads. Get used to it. you know, let's say you're spending $10 a day. Let's round that up to $4,000. Some of you spending up to $6,000, a couple more thousand, depending on the ads and the variables. Your ROI is one deal most of the time. If not, it's paying off your integrations. It's paying off your mailers, not to mention all the gold nuggets you're gaining by just coming into the community and learning other assets that will make you better as a realtor. You probably bringing so many of this stuff back where you're like, man, I'm gonna apply this to everything. People skills, negotiating skills, relationship skills, social media skills, video, email skills, texting. Before you know it.
I hadn't integrated video into any other aspect of my marketing until StreetText. And now I use it for probably 50% of my communication with clients. And it's made a huge, huge difference, but wouldn't have done it without StreetText.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, and I think it's a gift that keeps on giving. And so what I find with a lot of people in StreetText is they're making their evaluation in the first 90 days. And if it doesn't go their way, they quit. And then a lot of them will come back to StreetText months later. We'll vet their leads together, and we'll find out all these different leads that went with another agent. And they'll be like, I get it now. I'm like, yeah, you're planting the seed. You got to nurture it. You got to water it. You got to, do all the things that you do as you cultivate a garden. It doesn't just grow perfectly. And then, as you know, and you've experienced Jeff and Jenifer, like if you're looking at like all-star status, like our biggest agent of all time, Donna Swansea, who got started 6 years ago and has done 200 deals. She didn't have her first lead converted. And I think she said it took her 5 months.
So the worst thing about StreetText is these guys, and I think Jenifer, you were one of them, that converted a lead like 30 days into it.
Yeah.
And that set the expectation bar for everybody else on StreetText. So they get bummed when after a month they haven't converted anything and they're ready to throw in the towel. That's why they're horror stories to me when everybody goes, yeah, I got converted a lead in the first day that I used StreetText, or off of my trial, I sold a property. And I'm thinking, for every one of you, there's probably 300 that are banging their head against the wall going, man, I must be doing something wrong. No, you're not. It just takes time. It is a nurturing business.
Well said. Just like, anybody could have been coming into your funnel in the first week, and situationally, they just were going to sell with whoever contacted them. So you got lucky. You didn't have to even say a thing. They were ready to go. It could have been a relational health issue, just like, I want to get my home on the market. This is way too crazy. And you just so happened to have got their attention first. You didn't have to do a thing, was no skill set whatsoever. But majority of them are just simply curious. They don't know. They need a guide. They need somebody to help them realistically on just even sometimes just figure out what your goal is with your real estate. What are you looking to accomplish? Are you looking to perhaps refinance? Is it an equity thing? Do you want to upgrade? Do you want to downsize? Do you want to find other investments? Like, how can I come alongside you and be of service? Can I introduce you to anybody else in my network? People that may help, bring value to your home. What about because you guys forget about the networks that you have, people that you trust. I know personally in my, since we bought our home in June, we went through 7 contractors. They've been taking such advantage of our family because we don't know what we don't know. And we don't know who to hire. Like, where's the integrity with these people, And now we have a stop work permit, and we're working with the city to get all that going, and as we're building. And so there's a lot of things people want to do with their property. They just don't know how, because they don't have the experience or the knowledge that you do, because you can't assume that anyone knows what you know. They just want to do things to their property. They want to renovate it. They want to bring value to it. They want to add additions and so forth. So if you could just be that person that kind of directs them into resources, that could be a added value. You want to value stack as often as possible.
I actually like that you said that, because I've been renovating my house. You guys all know that. And I had someone come and do a tree cutting service. and they were fantastic. I mean, they were great. And they actually gave me a discount for being in the business. And so what I tell everyone is I am all over Google Maps because it's free. Okay. So I review every restaurant. I take pictures of everything. So I asked him if I could take pictures and review their, business. And I did. And in return, what I asked him was, I said, listen, I'm going to review you and post you online. I'd like to offer your services to my clients, but I want to make sure that they get a special discount. So him and I worked out a promo code so that if someone says a keyword, they're going to get a discount. And it would be really cool to offer free, no obligation. Like, I know the area, here's contractors, here's a list of people I use, but reach out to me for the promo code. That way you're developing rapport. But if you call these companies and tell them that you're in the business and that you're going to refer your clients to them, but you want to make sure they get a good deal, what's a good code that you guys can work up? They will give it to you, especially if they're smaller businesses. And it has worked so well for me. I've already given them 3 more leads, and in return, they called me with someone that wants to buy a house. So you never know where your next deal is going to come from, for sure. I like that idea.
It's all networking in this world, man. I mean, look how much money you've already got, free marketing money for all the affiliates you referred back for us, for StreetText, right? Every one of you has your own affiliate link. And I think the key is, it's hard because when you come from a background where exclusivity was a thing and you're fighting with every realtor for a zip code, you don't have to worry like that anymore. Like, Facebook has 15 miles built in, so it doesn't matter who you refer it to. Everybody can produce leads, but only few can convert them. And now the fun part is no one's even going to know you're running StreetText anymore because you have your own disguised link. Number one, right? And number two, when all that Apple iOS updates, inevitably it's going to happen soon. Think about all the millions of ads that are just going to automatically go down that you already have a solution for because you're using StreetText. So that's on the seller side, right? You should be testing the buyer side too. Like, the buyer side, the market's going to shift. Like, inevitably this bubble is going to stop, right? They're saying they're spending way too much money. The government's printing way too much money. This bubble, right? It's all going to reverse at some point, and then what? Pipeline shifts. Buyers are going to come into hand, and buyers right now, our top producing funnel right now is our buyer funnel. It's like $2 a phone number. And buyers are sellers on the top of funnel. You forget about that because you're always concerned about your seller leads, but sometimes these buyers need to first sell, and so they're probably closer to a seller than the seller leads you're going after. Did you know that? Think about it. A lot of people just want to know what's out there, but they want to get rid of their property first, and they're ready to get rid of their property today to go find that property. So sometimes you're thinking about it all wrong. So you should be testing it and then asking the questions. That's what made Janky Patel so successful. She's got how many of those sellers from her buyer ads? And the beauty behind that buyer lead ad is it auto-populates their name, phone number, and email. Boom. So you're looking for those full complete leads, and you can redirect them to a matrix or an IDX search link. And you should always make that link super overwhelming so that your automation on the other side communicates that with a video message and says, I want to get this list customized for you. What is the ideal neighborhoods you're looking for? Give me everything that would be dreamy for you. Your ideal, neighborhood, school district, amenities, like, just describe your perfect home. I'm going to build you a list just for that. Right? Simple. I mean, simple. Me. I look at you guys sometimes and I'm like, oh, I would love to be a realtor on the other side, but I enjoy this way too much. Because it would be fun knowing what I know now. It'd be a good place to start. Any questions on any of that stuff though? And, so my thought process on your automations is, go have fun with it. Add in some of that stuff, Jenifer, with other services that you offer and people that that could help them. Add that into your automations.
I'm going to. I'll share it.
because, and in the sense, also add in other areas like, hey, I just wanted you to give a chance to get to know me a little bit and know about my family and the community that I'm a part of, and a little bit about me, right? Because when you add in some of that to your automations, now they're getting a healthy balance of who you are as Jenifer the realtor, what you're going to do for them, with what the market's doing. Always shift it and help them understand what's happening in the market too. Okay, like why aren't your automations built on currently? Here's the market. Here's like the average days on market at the moment. Here's what homes are selling for if you position it properly, and how you create a multiple offer scenario in this market that everybody wants to get into. Right, here are the couple things you should be aware of. So it makes it feel like you're currently tuning it that way. I would at least, and so if you do that for your first 7 days, then you could do whatever. But they got to know you in that time frame. And obviously, like, the percentage of them got to know you, a percentage of them didn't. And so that's why you're still shooting for your time block to kind of see, how can I get these people to actually do good? Like, you want to shoot for 100%. It's not possible, but in the same time, are you actively trying to find them on Facebook? Are you actively giving them an opportunity to find you on Facebook? Is your Facebook link connecting and everything you're sending? So you're saying, hey, whenever you're ready, just check your message request folder, message me. I'm always on Facebook. That's probably the easiest way to get a hold of me. God.
Personal or business?
Personal.
Do you have a business Facebook account that you use, or?
Well, no, your business page is great. It's where you're paying Facebook for that ad to go in their newsfeed.
Mhm.
But very rarely will people go and like it and or ever go revisit it. I find, at least. So they'll connect with you personally. But I don't think the business thing is as cool as it used to. Like, it used to be like everybody would go there to get follows and likes, but I hardly ever see anyone's business page in my feed, ever, unless they're paying Facebook for it. But obviously I see all my friends in there. So for Facebook friends, I'm going to see you in the feed. So it's kind of thinking about it from that angle. Where are you going to be? Where are you going to be in someone's daily visual? I want to be in their daily visual. All right. That was good stuff, guys. Thank you for coming. Mastermind tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Let's take this energy back into that meeting and let's share wins tomorrow. Have a great day. Thanks for coming, Jen. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Thanks, Kim. Welcome aboard, Todd.